Good morning and welcome to P&B Morning Show this morning. All right, where politics meets business and the real issue takes center stage. Today we are looking at two stories that defines the nation's, politics. The possibility of coalition of PDP and ADC succeeding against the APC and the formation of security abuse. Now that we are fast approaching 2027 general election, political parties are scheming ways to grab power from the ruling APC. Just recently, the Turaki-led faction of the PDP has finally aligned itself with the ADC. This move has further heightened the political atmosphere and calculations, and by extension, strengthened the opposition. The question will be, will this coalition unseat the APC? Can it be sustained? Are we likely going to see more internal wrangling or a formidable force? Let the discussion continue. And again, at the same time, away from politics, let us look at one critical issue that appears to be an affirmation of illegal possession of arms and security formation. Asari Dokubo, a citizen of Nigeria, is seen in a viral video with a group carrying assorted rifles and ammunitions and formation, raising questions whether the government is not aware of it. What impression is this unlawful act generating for us as a nation, saying that Nigeria is undergoing serious insecurity challenge? All right, this morning we connect the dots between leadership, accountability, and delivery, because in the end, governance is not just about winning elections, it's about making life better. Stay with us. We shall be back to look at what the newspaper has for us this morning. I am Chidi Kenneth, and as usual, I have with me my colleague and co-host, Mr. Shaibu Ibrahim. Good morning, Mr. Shaibu.
Good morning, Mr. CK. How are you doing?
I'm good. A wonderful Monday morning once again.
Thank you. And I believe you had a very wonderful great
Yes, I did. Oh, how was your weekend?
We thank God. Thank you.
Okay, I can see that you are looking all whitish this morning and bright.
I love white.
I can see it.
I love white, actually.
Mr. Shaibu.
Yeah, probably because I'm very dark in complexion.
Same here too.
To get this kind of
I'm equally not fair.
Contradictory outlook. Thank you,
Mr. Shaibu, over the weekend, so many things happened.
Exactly, I can see that.
More coalitions. The APC, the PDP led, the Turaki led, we have led, what's Wike so?
The Wike faction, Turaki, Wike led, Turaki faction, and the other one.
There's this English they always used to.
Yeah.
Now the Turaki led faction has finally aligned themselves with the ADC.
Yes.
Politics everywhere.
Quite interesting. Makinde Turaki now are with the APC coalition.
With the ADC.
ADC coalition. And that's going to be an interesting.
It's getting serious.
Exactly.
It's getting serious.
Exactly.
Well, let's see.
Nigerians are just hoping that the needful shall be done by the coalition. Because when you have this kind of very giant people in the same place together, there is a tendency to make something big, and there's tendency to make it collapse as well.
Big or collapse. We'll get into
make or ma.
We get into details when we get to after the newspaper review.
Exactly.
And then we have the issue of the viral video making the round where the likes of Asari Dokubo, the popularly Asari Dokubo, the Niger Delta warlord, that saw him parading.
Is it former or? Well,
that's what it is. I think it's referred to a warlord or whatever. And then you saw him with some group of people, with more or less a security formation, carrying assault rifles, very strong ones, and one will begin to ask, who gave him the license? Is he allowed? He's a citizen of Nigeria just like me and you. What is going on?
Well, I believe he cannot be carrying all those arms if he's not being certified to carry them, because for one thing, you should remember that it is the government that has been giving him the contract to secure all our oil facilities particularly in those areas. So I believe he cannot do that without arms, obviously.
But he has his own formation, his own security formation.
The government knows about that. That is why they are contracting him to handle all those facilities, to take care of those facilities.
Is it lawful under the Constitution?
I don't.
Well, we'll go to that. We'll find out at the course of our discussion. Okay. All right, stay with us this morning. We shall be going on a short break, and when we return, we'll dive into the issue for today. But for now, we are going straight to the newspaper review. Don't touch that dial, or don't touch this, don't change the channel. This is P&B Morning Show right here in the city of Abuja. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this time out. All right, welcome back to P&B Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. All right, we're going to dive straight into the newspaper review this morning. Let's see what we have. I hope, again, Mr. Shaibu, as usual, you know, the producer is already looking, shopping. I hope we are not going to see, you know...
The producer's favorite headlines.
You know, he likes to, you know, show us...
To remind us
of
how many
killings,
people we are losing daily.
as though killings is one of those. But let me also say this before we proceed, that we're also going to dive into the issue of the comment from Sanusi Lamido,
Yes.
which states that despite it was, you know, trying to question the borrowing,
Exactly.
despite all the removal of a subsidy, you know, Sanusi Lamido came and was, you know, criticizing the government strongly. Now, why should the government go ahead borrowing despite the removal of subsidy? That will be dived into subsequently as well. And I think we're
Probably as our second topic.
Yes, well, second or third, whatever, the three topics we're going to look at it, touch it, you know. And we're hoping to have a guest to also do justice to that issue. But before then, let's look at the newspaper like we said earlier on. Let's see what we have. The first newspaper for today, let's see. The Guardian. Can you zoom in a bit?
Banks grapple with asset quality validation tests after 4.6 trillion capital. Banks grapple with asset quality validation tests after 4.65 trillion capital.
Okay.
Ground handlers may suspend operations over airline 9 billion naira debt. Ground handlers may suspend operations over airlines 9 billion naira debt. Alleged coup plot, detained colonel, sues federal government, demands 500 million damages. Alleged coup plot, detained colonel, sues federal government and demands 500 million naira damages.
That is alleged coup plot. The detained colonel is suing federal government and demands 500 million naira damage.
Yes, I think he's among the officers being detained over the allegation of coup plot.
Yes, maybe probably, I don't know, maybe there's something he's trying to prove. Probably he's maybe alleging that the coup plot allegation is false on him, and it is an attempt to malign his, you know, his person. So probably that is what he's alleging. Yeah. And let's see how it plays out.
Yes. Up there are other three interesting riders. NDC corpus, Obi Konkoso joint presidential ticket. Okay. NDC offers Obi Konkoso joint presidential ticket. I see the NDC is another political party.
Yes, NDC offers Obi Kwankwaso joint presidential. That's another political party trying to offer.
They are trying to lure in.
Yes, that's the NDC.
The two of the most strongest political leaders now in Nigeria.
We have another one there. We have the APC crisis.
First as five states
face exclusion from primaries
and convention.
That will be another political tussle.
Exactly.
We have the NCAA raises concern over domestic airlines services failures. Okay. And then we have the ground handlers may suspend operations over airlines 9 billion debt.
Let's talk a little bit about this NDC offer to Obi and Kwankwaso.
Yes.
You see, that is why in our pre-discussion I told you that this great coalition may either make or mar things for Nigerians, because as it is now, Nigerians are looking forward to unseating this present government simply because of the policies, not because they do not like the party, like I always say, but because of the policy that is eating excruciatingly into their life. So now, and the possibility or the thinking that this coalition will not agree, because as it is now, all the three serious contenders, nobody is giving body language that is willing to let go of the ticket, especially Atiku and Obi, and this may tear in the party into pieces. So in preparations of that, that is why you see smaller parties are not trying to lure in the two presidential candidates, because they know that this combination, the okay combination, is going to be very, very, very strong, whichever party they appear. At least with Obi's youth attraction across Nigeria, and then with Kwankwaso's Kano base vote.
Another part of the north.
And other parts of the smaller part of the north. I think it's going to be very, very, very strong ticket.
But again, look at
especially if it has the backing of all those political kingmakers that are now presently domiciled in.
But they're looking at Atiku.
ADC.
Atiku too is also a force in its own right. We have it, information making a rumor, have it that there's a lot of lobbying going on.
Exactly.
Trying to talk to him to see reasons why the younger ones should go. Let him just go and then be more or less like a stakeholder that he is and a father that he is. So we talks ongoing.
Honestly speaking, for me, that is the only angle that I don't want people to be looking at the team. Because if you keep saying because of his age you let go, it's not that I'm like I always tell you, that I like power to remain in the south for peace to reign. But to come and argue the point based on his age, this is one thing that I do not actually agree with. The incumbent, the former one, that late President Buhari, the incumbent, Obasanjo, they are all elders. They are all elders and they rule this country. This one is even older than all of them probably. The incumbent is probably older than all of them. So we cannot, he's a Nigerian, he's entitled to whatever he wished to lead the country. He's entitled to his right.
No, but
I don't like arguing on the basis of
Mr. Shaibu,
any other reason you can give is
no, Mr. Shaibu, the reason is
let power remain.
The reason being that I understand your position when it comes to that, but you see, some may also argue with you that we've had elder people rule less, and then we've also had a younger person rule like Jonathan, and that some of the trying to compare, and it felt Yar'Adua was young. Some were like, okay, if you notice, most of the presidents that have ruled us that are of high age has this regular medical tourism. In 3 months, they're always going to one country or the other for medical checkups.
It's only 2 of them.
I'm just coming. We're not mentioning names, but so people were like, okay, let's get somebody that is younger, at least that can stay for a long while and see what's going on in the country, move around flexibly with strength and energy. You understand what I'm saying? So that is just the idea behind, one of the ideas behind supporting a younger candidate. And let me be very honest with you. The problem of this country is too big for an old man of 75 to handle. It's too big. And
also experience matters in governance as well.
Okay. So let's see.
Moving on. Our next paper.
Let's see what goes. Okay.
Cracks hurdles in united opposition. Hand APC strategic edge ahead of 2027. Cracks hurdles in united opposition, hand APC strategic edge ahead of 2027. That's just what I finished saying. Because if they allow any crack, if they insist that
I hope these politicians know.
Yes, they do.
No, there's a way these politicians, they
are just too greedy, honestly.
The way I see politicians, I wonder what kind of species of human beings.
They will meet, they will agree, but they will not implement. Just day before yesterday, they were in Oyo with Makinde. They all agreed that they will not allow the party to crack. They will agree on one strong candidate. They did all that discussion. And the fact that this heading is appearing on our national dailies suggests that they have not really agreed. Otherwise, this will
no, but this can be politics,
Of course, it may be.
The writers, maybe, let's be very honest, the media PR is there.
Yeah, of course.
If I don't like you, Mr. Shaibo, and I have a newspaper company,
I agree.
The way I'm going to...
a newspaper that's very loyal to you.
Yes.
Sympathetic to your
We see it in all this media PR, we know. Exactly. We know it's everywhere. That's why I told somebody that, freedom of speech, there is no neutrality to an extent, allegedly. We know, so maybe the writer there might be one of the strong supporter of a political party. You may not know.
But
it has a particular sentiment.
The ruling party is very, very aware that once this opposition is united strongly, this is going to be a very big threat to them becoming.
Even God in the Bible saw a coalition.
Exactly.
And could not stand it. It's in the Bible. The Tower of Babel.
The Tower of Babel.
Yes. When they came together and he saw that the coalition was too strong and they were building a house, they said they want to get that house to get to heaven. And what did God do? He brought confusion in them and divided them by using language. That is how language came to, came about.
So the opposition are using language now.
So it's
in united opposition, hands APC strategic edge ahead of 2027 election. I think Nigerians are very, very excited to see what is going to happen in 2027 actually. But we can see the incumbent also trying to consolidate power and position. And then, traditionally in Nigeria, or historically, it is not easy for you to unseat the incumbent. It has only happened once in this country.
And some argue because it's by Jonathan permitted it. Jonathan was just a gentleman and he permitted it.
Probably.
Because we have all kinds of rumor making the round.
And added to the fact that Nigerians are also united at that time. It's unity that brought about this thing. That is why the incumbent is afraid of the united opposition. They want to say an opposition, but they do not want to say.
I told you, even God.
Look at the way they put the united opposition in court. It's no longer opposition now. I hope you understand.
That is united now.
It's now united opposition. There are two different things. And even the fact that they are putting in quotation mark, in parentheses, also is also sending another message.
But the current president also floated a united opposition.
Yeah, of course.
He did. That was what brought him. He did it.
He was the father of the united opposition that unseated Jonathan.
Yes.
Because if Tinubu did not come with his Southwest bloc to join the CPC and make it APC, Buhari wouldn't have been in that place today.
Very, very correct, sir. You're very correct. Let's go to the next newspaper, please. The Vanguard.
Doctors haunted for saving lives. Chilling stories of arrest, detention, and extortion. Why is this?
Doctors haunted for
saving lives.
Saving lives. What happened?
Chilling stories of arrest, detention, and extortion. Police complaints will be reviewed. That will be interesting. Why will doctors be haunted for saving lives? We need to know more about this.
This is a very serious case.
Exactly.
If you want to know why doctors were haunted for saving lives, you can approach any of the newspaper stand and go
straight to Vanguard.
Go straight to Vanguard.
Yes. Then another interesting rider at the top. ADC shows strength in 22 battle states. ADC shows strength in 22 battleground states. ADC shows strength in 22 battleground states. 2027 opposition parties unite against APC, plan single presidential candidate. Makinde says Nigeria's democracy under threat.
Makinde is speaking out there that Nigeria's democracy is under threat, and the position, like we said before now, is waxing stronger.
Exactly.
Let's see how it goes. That will form one of the basis of our discussion today.
This morning,
if the stronger they are, if it stands a chance.
Race for Tinubu's not. Race for Tinubu's approval. How Baba sub politics is shaping next election. how Baba Sopi politics is shaping next election. So you have to be loyal to be able to get your ticket. You understand? You have to get the president's approval and the green card for you to access even the ticket to contest.
Then you can see that
we are still having politics of godfathers.
Yes, godfatherism.
Godfatherism.
You cannot take away godfatherism from politics.
Exactly.
Godfatherism is innate in man. There are people who are wired like that.
Exactly.
I have a friend who will not support you if you don't come to his house and acknowledge him as a force. He will not support him in our estate politics. Once you don't do that, he will criticize you. He will demarket you and the rest of them.
It's true. Any other interesting writer down the paper? Okay, I think we should go to our next paper.
Let's go to next newspaper, please. Next newspaper, please. Tribune. Opposition parties unite against APC. Opposition parties unite. This will make the round everywhere.
It is time to rescue Nigeria from Tinubu. Resolve to field single presidential candidate for 2027. And you can see
the picture there.
Red politicians there. I can see Makinde. I can see Baba Atiku. I can see Turaki. And then I can see, who is that in red cap? That former Southeastern governor. I can see Arik Beshola. Yes, great men there. I can see the youth guy also there, Peter Obi. So this is a collection of giants, political giants. Yeah, is there a Konkoso there too? He must have been there, of course.
He was there. They were sitting both ends, the left, right, and the left side and the right side. They all fired out in front, and I think they sang the state national anthem.
This is who and who of Nigerian politics.
Yes, you can see that a combination of 8 million votes, 6 million votes, and 2 million votes.
2 million votes. That
16 million.
That alone sends shivers to some quarters.
I hope they will give reason a chance and come together.
Honestly, because
if they come together, then we are likely to see a very strong drama. Okay.
What we are now asking, what Nigerians are now hoping and asking for in this coming together is unity. Unity is the most important bedrock of this coalition. Unity is the major building block. And when I say unity, it means agreeing to speak and act in one language, in one tongue.
I hope ambition will allow that.
That is the problem. That is the problem.
Let's see. Probably, let's also look at
because they have about 3 different.
Let me tell you,
can do here.
Don't be surprised that the game, even part of the dragging, is political.
I tell you now. I told you that
they might be doing that to also set the pressure that that problem.
Nigerian politicians are the most deceptive and smart politicians around the world.
Okay, we have resident doctors suspend planned,
resident doctors suspend planned indefinite strike as federal government restores PAT. Resident doctors suspend planned indefinite strike as federal government restores PAT. Thank God. While malaria still poses significant threat to Nigerians, medical experts say. Why malaria still poses significant threat to Nigerians, medical experts.
Talking about malaria, Nigeria, I stumbled into a write-up where has discovered a country that doesn't have mosquito in the world. Iceland.
What? Iceland.
No mosquito.
Waiting go carry mosquito, go there. Mosquito like ice.
I would like to visit that kind of country because where I stay.
No, you are in Nigeria, I can go and contaminate all of them.
Well, it will not survive because where I stay, yes. You dare not open your door
for a second.
For just 2 seconds.
They go flooding.
The mosquitoes there are airborne. They are like jet fighters.
Have you ever seen a hairy mosquito before in your life? It's a hairy mosquito.
Well,
mosquito with hairs.
Maybe you show me one.
Go to Kano. You go see them. They even have names.
Mosquito with hairs.
I had to stay for more than 2 days in Kano, I'm telling you. Kano is the mosquito headquarters of Nigeria.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
What is about Lagos?
Well, I haven't experienced in Lagos, but
the kind of mosquitoes I saw in Lagos, the one that will bite you through a jean. You're wearing a jean trouser.
Wow. Their proboscis can penetrate through your jeans.
And it will fire. It will fire. Just go to Lagos and try out Lagos mosquito. Then you understand that what you have in the north is a Java mosquito.
That's true. ADC attack. Presidency defends Tinubu's democratic credentials. Presidency defends Tinubu's democratic credentials against ADC attack.
Well, who is defending democratic credentials of the president? Well, let's see how it goes, the scorecard of the president.
Exactly.
Let's see, because I think last week
if we are to go by the scorecards we have seen so far, I don't think they have anything to defend. Practically.
But they told you that if you don't have, you should put on your glasses.
I'm already having glass.
And you will see properly
they haven't given me the one they promised. If they give me the one I promised, maybe there's some juju there. I may begin to see things upside down.
For example, light.
Then I will begin to see light. You understand? Then I may begin to buy fuel at 400 naira per liter.
You begin to buy rice at maybe 15,000 naira per bag.
15,000 naira, or let's be fair to them, maybe 30,000 naira or 35,000 naira per bag. It's even fair. How much do we used to buy during good luck
7,000 Jonathan
era?
7,000 naira.
You can see.
So one
I think in the life of Nigeria, the only president that brought down the price of petroleum products is Yar'Adua. We can never forget him for that. And the word that came folding it by triplet by 4 times is the incumbent. And his life is making life crazy. See, we have become so much taxed that today you are even afraid to go to the market and buy a pair of shoes. Do you know that? I'm just reading, anyway, for now, social media news going around, that they will soon tax, after they tax solar, in some state, they are coming back to tax one other thing like that.
So it's tax.
Yes, Mr.
Let's go to the next newspaper, please. The Nation.
2027, Makinde under fire over Operation Weti remark. You know what is Operation Weti? The crisis that led to, some say partly led to the civil war, somehow in southwestern Nigeria, I think in the 1960s election. Makinde under fire over Operation Weti remark. Opposition moves single candidate against Tinubu. Fragmented opportunistic alliance doomed to fail, say Dare. Opposition moves against single candidate against Tinubu. Fragmented opportunistic alliance doomed to fail, says Dare.
Now you can see that, like I just said it before, that when you see headlines on the newspaper, you can tell the direction of that paper.
Exactly.
You can tell the thinking. You can tell the mindset.
You can sense the
body language of that newspaper.
You can sense the loyalty too.
The loyalty too. You can sense the loyalty where the paper belongs.
Exactly.
Yes, it is not hidden. We are not kids. We know. Okay, let's see. Zoom up. Okay. Borno Zamfara, APC stakeholders endorse Tinubu Shetima. Wow. Yes. So you can see, okay, Oyedelo Keyamo move to cut aviation fuel costs, support airlines. Okay, let's go down and see what we have.
Nigerian Air Force strikes destroy terrorist hideout in Northeast. NAV strike destroy terrorist hideout in Northeast. Resident doctors suspend planned strike. Thank God.
Okay.
And I think there's a very lengthy insight, if you wish to read it, in the newspaper titled State of the Parties, Part 3. State of the Parties, Part 3.
All right, that will be all for the nation. Okay, the next we have the Daily Trust.
Long awaited staff shortage. Crisis in public hospitals worsen. Long wait, staff shortage, crisis in public hospitals worsen. Patient will go to the hospital and wait for a long period of hours in the midst of staff shortage in our hospitals across the nation.
Crisis in public hospitals worsen. Oh, wow. The public hospitals, some of them are even in shambles in any way. So that's enough crisis. We have even the, rural area, hospitals and clinics in rural areas that we don't even have doctors.
Exactly.
We don't have nurses, no drug.
Even ordinary health workers, they are hard to be seen across our primary healthcare facilities across the nation. Delayed flight as jet fuel shortage deepens. Delayed flights as jet fuel shortage deepens. Still on the aviation industry, stakeholders seek government intervention to save 2026 Hajj. aviation.
So even the airlines is suffering
exactly
scarcity of fuel.
Of course, it is more expensive than ordinary fuel that we know, like the, PMS and AGO and this.
Let's say last Friday, right?
Gamble, APC imminent loss in Nasarawa State. Governor Sules Gamble, APC imminent loss in Nasarawa.
Okay, that is the governor's gamble. You know, the governor is trying to, anoint a particular candidate he feels.
Okay, I think one of the incumbent senators, right?
Yes. What is it called? Is it Wada or something? I think Wadata, yes.
Yes, and I think the other key party figures are having different opinion. I think particularly the former governor of the state, Al-Makura, that didn't go well with the wishes of Al-Makura. And that may likely tear the APC into two, which means the ADC may likely have a upper hand because the ADC is also strong in Nasarawa State as it is now.
Yes.
I think Nasarawa happens to be among the 22 states in which one of the paper carries that ADC is making strong moves in. In fact, made strong move in. So, any interesting writer down the paper? Okay. Underwear display. Political campaign hits new low in Kano. Very embarrassing. Where you see the picture of a governor boldly engraved in ladies' pants and being distributed as guy. This is very, very embarrassing.
You know, when I saw that,
but how will you allow I will not allow my picture to be put on the pant. Why would I be allowed?
That's the portrait. That's one of the best. You know,
I will quickly call that guy that gave that contract. Honestly speaking, it's embarrassing.
You see,
it's even better than giving.
It shows the level of decadence and decay in the minds of some of our political leaders. Out of everything in the world you can give.
And what annoys me even more is how the women are excited and showing the pan all over the place like that. Running.
It's not even a pan. Some of them were looking like buba, like one big. What is pante? Looking very large.
And then they painted
like a canopy.
And then they painted Concosia red pant. Why would they do that? After all,
no.
It's red now. You didn't see it.
But he was not the one that gave the pants.
Very embarrassing situation.
In 24th century, like this, in the 2026,
underwear,
you don't have anything to give to anybody. You are giving pants.
Political campaign hates.
You know what happens in this country amuses me. The way people think.
But let's get the message well. Political campaign hits new low in Kano. It went down low now. They are beginning to run out of ideas. That's the message there.
That is why they have no other choice than to share pants.
APC in Kano. So Sokoto onion farmers lose 10,000 bags to fire in 1 week. Sokoto onion farmers lose 10,000 bags to fire in 1 week.
Yes.
Abuja's chaotic transport system drained residents.
Yes. Okay.
Abuja's chaotic transport system.
Yes.
Resident.
Okay. We are
cutting the paper review.
Yes. You know, Abuja Catholics, transport system drains residents. Okay. Abuja chaotic transport system. The transportation fare is becoming,
honestly,
yes, draining here in Abuja. Okay, Nigerians faces rising threats in South Africa's, rising threats in South Africa. Ask federal government to act. So the fight and the.
I can't understand why South Africa really hates Nigerians. Honestly speaking, this has been going on for a long time. They are particularly against the Nigerians, rather other than any other nationalities. So I think the South African government, and we contributed a lot to their appetite struggle. No country in the world has helped South Africa to gain their freedom like Nigeria did. All former presidents of Nigeria have immensely contributed in the fight against appetite for the South Africans. And no African country hates Nigerians than South Africa today, I'm telling you. I just can't understand.
So the xenophobic act still on.
Honestly, I think the South African consulate or embassy should please try to see reason to contact their government.
But some also argue that Nigerians are also doing a lot of shady deals in South Africa. I have a friend, we came back from South Africa, and he told me, Pump Black, that we have a lot of Nigerians there that are doing a lot of things that are also, and again, the Nigerians are very hardworking too. The girls, the South African women prefer Nigerian. In fact, what my friend told me straight to my face that South African girls prefer to, Nigerian guys because of the way and manner we do our things than even and that raises a lot of concerns and
There are so many reasons. But then that does not justify you always trying to threat Nigerians just like that. I think, so I think this is the last paper.
No, let's go to the next newspaper, please. We have
First Daily.
Serap editors drag NBC over sanction threat. Serap editors drag NBC over sanction threat. Okay, we know we've been hearing this threat of the NBC trying to,
which I kept telling you that it
guard
will not see the light of the day by the grace of God. Trapped in crossfire, Abuja core member killed as gun battle erupts. Trapped in crossfire, Abuja core member killed as gun battle erupts. Wow, that's a very sad story.
That's a sad one. We lost a copper there.
Oh my God.
He found himself in a gun battle.
Oh.
And as a result of that, he was killed. Now, what led to the gun battle is what we don't know. You can grab a copy of this newspaper and then find out what led to the gun battle.
Nigerian Navy deploys warships, air assets for Gulf of Guinea drill. Nigerian Navy deploys warships, air assets for Gulf of Guinea drill. Then going further, we see tribalism in Nigeria caused by bad leadership, says Mahdi Shehu. Tribalism in Nigeria caused bad leadership. And then we have resident doctors suspend strike after government assurance on arrears. Mali defense minister killed as fresh clash escalate.
Okay, look at this issue of resident doctors. We are still resurfacing again. In a country with so much, mineral resources, blessed with so much wealth, we don't even have full assurances of medical services in our country here. Nigerian doctors are still threatening strike by this time. When we
they are purely remunerated. The working condition has not been improved because they don't have the necessary equipment to work with. Do you understand? Half of the money that was released to take post-election cases is enough to have settled that arrears long ago.
That's the 135 point.
Exactly. Billion, yes. So it took the federal government strike, a threat for strike, for them to be able to begin to pay those arrears. And as usual, they may start and they may still stop paying it. That's what they always do. I'm surprised how the kind of leadership we have in this country. You neglect doctors, you neglect lecturers, you neglect all the key people that are servicing the country, and concentrated on only election things.
Well, NRS dismisses fake vehicle tax notice warns public. And guys, the revenue services, National Revenue Services dismisses fake vehicle tax notices. This regime or this government, there's a lot of controversies and issues that borders on tax.
Exactly. Honestly,
yeah, again, we are hearing at some point in Lagos that even solar energy light is being taxed now.
There's one I just saw.
We don't know. I've not confirmed that story to know how true.
There's one that I just saw. That one is even much more interesting. I just saw it before I entered the studio. Another attempt, another thinking that we are going to be taxed also on something else.
Okay. APC mocks opposition over Ibadan summit. APC mocks opposition over Ibadan summit. What could they be saying? Probably let's see how it survives.
Yes, you remember Dare said it's just a meeting of opportunistic people that have no hope in making anything substantive. So let's see I think that's not just the end of it.
Yes, that's the end of that. Let's see the next newspaper, please. The Punch. PDP ADC blocks reject joint presidential ticket. PDP ADC blocks reject joint presidential ticket. Ibadan meeting. PDP ADC blocks reject joint president. This is quite a little bit controversial.
Exactly.
What is the Punch trying to tell us here?
Wike camp, Atiku mark misled by imposters. Wike camp, Atiku mark misled by imposters. Kachuku ADC faction, LP disowns meeting. Kachuku ADC faction and LP disown meeting. So there's you see these are signs of the crisis that are going on even within the APC. The PDP faction, they are rejecting joint presidential ticket. That's another crisis. And then the Kachuku ADC faction also. Even in the LDC, there's Kachuku faction. And people that came from LP, they also disown the meeting. APC question Makinde's fitness for office after Operation Weti comment.
It's all politics.
It's all politics, actually. It's all politics.
Okay, let's look at APC. The caption there.
PDP ADC blocks reject joint presidential ticket.
APC questions Makinde's
fitness for office after Operation Weti comment. I think this Operation Weti is one crisis that happened in the 60s in Ibadan, I think, in the southwest, that led to a lot of death. So many lives were lost. It said, I think it threw the entire southwest into carnage in the 60s. Yeah. So okay. I think he made a reference. Maybe he probably said, I don't want to presume what he said. He likely made a comparison to what may happen if the ruling party tries to, I'm just thinking, tries to run an election that is not credible.
Okay, we have your primaries. How power struggles threaten Ondo APC unity. How power, you can see that, you see, this
power struggles threaten Ondo APC's unity.
You see, this political ambition is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Both in the APC, you know, the APC had to shift their primaries from 16 to 26 or so.
That is to tell you that all of them, or nearly all of those politicians, are not going there because they want to serve the nation or they want to serve their interest, or they want to serve their people. They are all going there to serve their bank account and to make life easy to their friends and cronies. Because
most of them,
I'm telling you, because if the original intent is to serve the people, you will easily come to an agreement with whoever is trying to your opponent.
Look at this,
especially when you believe that that guy also is there to serve the people like you. But because their intention is always not good, their intention is always against the masses, that is why you see them always fighting all over for places, for positions. They will never let go. They are very, very, very greedy kind of people. Majority of them are. Honestly speaking.
Look at this very wonderful
Personally, I don't respect Nigerian politicians because I have no option. Some people must rule us. That's just it. But the people that I have less respect for in this country are the politicians.
Look at NNPC refineries will never work again. Obasanjo. This is a very serious issue, Mr. Shaibu.
Of course.
So you see the whole promises that, oh, we are going to fix. So if any politician comes to
why didn't he fix it when he was there? He was also there for 8 years. He should have fixed it.
So what happens all the time?
If anybody has absolute power as president, except now that we are seeing the incumbent, it was Obasanjo. I think the NNPC was privatized during his tenure. You remember? Through the office of the vice president. Through the works of Nasru El-Rufai. Why is he shouting now? You see, this is one hypocrisy of our leaders. You'll be in a position, you had the chance to do the right thing, you refuse to do the right thing. Now that you are not there, you come and criticize other people. Yes, it will not work because people like you refuse to make it work. That's simply the statement.
Are you saying he was part of the problem?
He was indeed part of the problem. He was indeed part part of the problem. He had enormous amount of power at his disposal at that time if he had wished to make things work. He did not. And today he's making noise.
Don't you think that at his age now it's time for him to speak out what's going on? Probably he has some.
It doesn't matter. Why didn't he do it at that time? That's the question. He shouldn't have been talking about it now. Yes, because you had the opportunity to make things work. You did not. With all due respect, sir, you are part of the problem. Because if you had wished, you would have made at least part of it work.
Okay, so that is Mr. Shaibu. You see, that calls for serious concern actually, because now he's saying we will never work. That means if any politician comes to campaign with our refineries, we chase him out of that campaign.
Exactly, or power. If any candidate, any president come and start telling us that he will give us power, if he doesn't give us power, we should not vote him for a second time. We should begin to throw stones at them. Because they are lying to us. Looking straight into our eyes and lying to us.
Or any politician that comes to tell you that we should buy, that the refineries will be fixed, we should chase him out of the campaign ground, right?
The only person that will tell me this to believe is not a politician. He's the only person that will tell me that the refineries will work and I will believe him. I mean, will not work and I will believe him. It's Dangote. If Dangote, for any reason, comes out today and tell me that your refineries will never work, that one I will believe. I will agree. But any politician coming to tell me that they will never work, I will not believe him. It's just that we do not have the right person that can do the work. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, let's look at.
Atiku was against suspending campaigns in Borno, Benue, and other states. Initially, the National Assembly had made a statement to the effect that
states
campaigns will not take place in eight northern states. All the states are in the north, but most of them are in the northeast and north central.
So to what end?
I mean, northeast and northwest, where there are strong followership for the ADC.
So it's all politics.
It's all politics. The next thing, they will begin to say, okay, now out of these 4 states, we have tried to make sure that at least a certain level of security has been entrenched in the place. So at least in 4 of these places or 3 of these places, we can send election materials. But it's impossible for us to ship election materials to the remaining 5 states. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Because this is just the first statement. And Atiku is now warning them that they should not proceed with their plan. Politicians can do whatever they can to win their game. Especially the political party that is in power. This is not restricted to ADC alone, APC alone. If it were to be the ADC in the similar situation in which the APC is today, they will have done even worse thing. I don't know. Because they are also politicians and they are also Nigerians. I hardly trust a Nigerian politician.
Well, let's go to the next newspaper, please, and see them what we have there. Okay, I think this will be the last newspaper.
Powers Gala pass Fenerbahce as Oveka wins championship. Osimhen Powers Gala pass Fenerbahce
as Onyeka.
As Onyeka wins championship. Is it Oveka or Onyeka wins championship?
It should be Onyeka.
Okay.
Osimhen Powers Gala passed Fenerbahce. Okay, that means Osimhen was able to help his team to win Fenerbahce. Both of them are in Turkish club.
Okay.
As that, both of them are Turkish club. Okay. And we can see that Osimhen is doing very well. And NCF opens under 19 women's cricket
National Cricket Federation opens under 19 women's cricket World Cup qualifier camp. So we are not even going to international cricket matches.
Yes.
That's nice. That's nice. Another good sport.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu.
Yeah.
That will be all for us this morning from the newspaper. If you want to understand what is going on, you can go to the newspaper stand and then grab a copy and then look into it. Now, what radar this morning do you think is the most attractive to you or that raised serious concern to you as an analyst this morning?
I think it's the last paper that we saw where Atiku is warning against stopping campaigning in key northern states, Borno, Benue, and other states. I think this is just a plan aimed at giving us the body language that election may likely not take place, because this is just the first statement they made. We don't know the next thing they will say against those states, because they want to fight, they want to use insecurity to pretend that it's difficult to carry out election in those states due to insecurity challenges. You understand? And they have to start it somewhere. They have to prepare the mass of Nigeria.
So are they testing the waters?
They are testing the waters. These are flashpoint areas where it's difficult for campaign to take place. And if campaign does not take place in a state, you know that election may likely not take place in that state as well. So I think they're just preparing the mind. The incumbency is just trying to prepare the minds of the National Assembly in that, for that matter, because the National Assembly that made the statement that we may likely not allow campaigns in those states, which by extension means we may likely not take election materials to those states. And that by implication also means that we intend to weaken ADC's strength in certain key states that they are holding sway.
Now, the one that caught my fancy this morning is the one of the NMPC not going to work.
Obasanjo's statement.
Obasanjo's statement. I'm beginning to wonder why coming from Obasanjo, that statement is serious. Serious in the sense that we've had government coming to make all kinds of promises that they're going to fix this refinery. In fact, this current government at some point promised us, and at some point they were like, okay, it's picking up. You know, we've started lifting up products from Port Harcourt and the rest of them. And we didn't hear anything again. Now, Obasanjo is coming to say it will never work. And we don't understand why. If it's not going to work, what next? Is it not to sell it off?
I've already sold most part of the Nigerian refinery something now. Most of them has been privatized, except for the NNPC. Do you understand? And that is the administrative arm of it actually. So, for Obasanjo to say this, he must have his reasons, because as an elder said person, and as person that has ruled Nigeria 3 times, I think his statement must carry weight, and he knows the underneath workings of the whole thing. He knew why he said that, and I believe he must have his reason for saying so. Okay. Remember, he was part of it was partly during his time that all those refineries were put into their full strength. You remember? Former President Muhammadu Buhari happened to be one of the pioneering ministers of petroleum resources, I think, during Obasanjo's administration, as a military person. So they knew everything. I think when he makes a statement like that, I believe he knows what he's saying. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shaibu, for doing justice to the newspaper review this morning.
Thank you, Mr. C.
That will be all for the newspaper review this morning. We shall be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll dive straight into the topic for today. This is P&B Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this time out.
Let's give him the...
All right, welcome back to P&B Morning Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Tichidi Kenneth, and I have with me Mr. Shaibu Ibrahim. Mr. Shaibu, once more, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chidi.
Now we are going to dive into the major issue and discussion for today. That is the coalition of PDP, Turaki-led PDP, and the ADC. They had a meeting, somewhere around Ibadan, and the two of them have decided to come together and also agree to field one candidate. Mr. Ibrahim, this is raising serious concerns and has heightened the political calculations and atmosphere as we prepare for 2027 election.
True.
So what's your take?
Well, when we say coalition, it always has to do with a group of political parties coming together with a very particular objective. And quite often the objective or the target will be to unseat the incumbent administration. The ADC in itself is also a coalition, even before the PDP joins it. So now PDP meeting in Ibadan and PDP becoming part of the coalition is just strengthening an already existing coalition, because there are other smaller groups that are already in the party, because there was a very large chunk of members of the APC that have already left the party and then joined ADC. And then there are other smaller people from smaller other political parties that are already there. And then the ADC in itself was already a political party before all those other people joined it. And now we are seeing a very strong faction of the PDP coming to join them. The faction that is loyal to Makinde and Turaki. The intention is to have one strong candidate for the coalition to produce one strong candidate, a united person, somebody that can be able to turn the table down and achieve success coming 2027 election. I think that model is similar to what obtained in 2015, when a coalition of strong politicians and strong political parties came together to unseat an existing administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. Well, whether this will yield to what is expected or not remains to be seen, actually. Because normally when coalition comes, we begin to see a lot of problems, a lot of challenges. But even the ADC in itself has a lot of internal party crisis that is eating deep into it.
Like what?
Of course, we knew they were battling their self-report. Then there are issues that has to do with INEC. Then there is this leadership issue even among themselves. Do you understand? And then with PDP come, you know that PDP has this level of a prone crisis party already. And then coming to PDP, we don't know whether that crisis will even increase or not.
So are you saying that PDP transported their crisis into the ADC?
We don't know. We may likely see that happening. Although the problem maker himself is not there, but at least, you cannot rule out the possibility of the problem becoming larger. We'll see this as the discussion continues. Okay,
I want to find out, some may argue with you that, the more the merrier, the bigger, the stronger, and now we are seeing that at first it was being rumored that, when Makinde went to Kano to see Kwankwaso, and then thereafter it was being rumored that the almost Turaki-led faction of the PDP we might likely going to join the ADC.
Yeah, we discussed this here.
Yes, and at some point again, we started hearing some information that the Wike-led faction was also moving for reconciliation. That was last week, and we're like, okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel. What is going to possibly happen? And then here we are finally. All the rumors have been laid to rest. The coalition has finally happened.
Exactly.
Now we have the Turaki-led faction joining the ADC. And now with this array of political bigwigs, do you see ADC becoming more of a threat? Because now we came out to see reactions from the APC. Could it be that the APC's reaction is, a sign of fear?
Exactly. Even before the Makinde Turaki-led faction of the PDP joined the coalition, Nigerians have already known that the only party that is capable of shaking the foundation for the incumbent party, for the ruling party, is actually the ADC. And then even Wike himself trying to bring about reconciliation was this particular fear. He doesn't want any faction of the PDP moving into the opposition.
Yes, Wike was assumed.
Exactly.
One of the dailies carried it that Wike was, skeptical.
Exactly.
Assumed.
That was why he made the statement to the effect that, come gentlemen, let's sit down and then reconcile among ourselves. But it has happened now. The fact that it has happened.
So the issue of reconciliation is rested.
Exactly, it's rested. That's why the presidency is already saying that I'm not intimidated and all this and all that. You understand? Fear opens the door to so many things, especially from your opponent. And statements that are expressive of fear will even give more confidence to the opposition now. Then if we look at it, you will see that there are a lot of signs of strength now in the ADC as compared to last few days, honestly speaking. Because now you will see that the party is becoming a truly united opposition capable of defeating the APC. Because you know that the PDP is still one of the strongest parties in Africa, despite the crack, despite its problem.
Why do you think so?
Because it still has a lot of big sweeps too within the APC, despite the defections.
That's the PDP?
Yes, still there are. That is why the APC is happy to accommodate them. People like Makinde himself, particularly there are strong people in the south,
former governors,
southwest. Yes. They are going out to meet their friends that are already there. You understand? They were all in the PDP at one time or the other. David Mark was in the PDP. Erufai himself was a PDP guy.
What about Bola Mohammed now?
Bola Mohammed too was a PDP guy.
Are you saying that is Bola Mohammed belonging to the Turaki-led faction?
Yeah, now Bala has never been in the same car with Wike. You remember that? He has never been in the strong. He has never been in the same faction with Wike, not even at one time.
So where is Wike now?
So Wike is on his own, trying to calculate, recalibrate, try to rethink, and then see the party will channel. But as it is now, we are seeing a coalition that is very, very truly united and capable of defeating the APC. If these key figures try to see reason and combine their voter base in the north and south plus youth voters that are more likely coming particularly from Obi faction, my brother, they will give the incumbent run for their money.
But some I also argue with you that it is not true because
Don't say it's not true. Just say they will argue with me.
Some may argue with you and say you are not saying that it's not like the story might not come out as well because now we have a lot of ambitious politicians in the ADC now.
So they are not
who are also gunning for the presidency.
The people that are ambitious enough to bring the current president into power are the ambitious politicians that are now in the ADC.
But some of them want to go for the tickets.
No, that is why we are talking that for as long as they can see reason and talk together and agree on a united front, agree on one united strong presidential candidate, they will definitely.
But they say that is what they're going to do.
Yes. But
do you see the possibility?
I see.
With the ambitious appetite of the likes of Atiku?
Politicians like to take advantage of situation. Do you know? Now, the politicians themselves, who are responsible for putting us in the situation that we are today, they are in the APC as well as they are in the ADC. Some of the actors that
most of them were part of the problem.
They were part of the problem. So they are the part of the problem and they are not in the opposition for two reasons. One, they wanted badly because of their selfish desires want to unseat this president or this party, number one. And they realized too that the Nigerians are not happy with the policies of this administration. Two reasons. Do you understand? So not because of the people, because of their selfishness, they have to come together to unseat the incumbent. They are not doing it for us, we know, but they are doing it for themselves. So for now, the reason why they are doing it is not actually the matter. Or you don't say the end justifies the means. But that does not mean that the incumbency is not also doing their calculations. And as it is now, there are three scenarios. And of these three scenarios, two scenarios are favorable to the incumbent. We'll discuss this later. It's only one scenario. If they play very well, that will come to.
So the incumbency will most likely be watching to see what is going to happen. That if the ADC gives an opportunity for a crack,
exactly,
the incumbent will take advantage of that.
As if you know my line state.
There's a saying in my place that it is only when the war cracks that is when the lizard has the opportunity. That's when the lizard has the opportunity to enter inside the war.
That is it.
So do you see a possible crack?
It all depends. They have deep thinkers in the ADC, but the key permutator, the key thinking is behind bars. It's locked. Do you understand? But that doesn't mean that the others cannot work themselves away, around.
It doesn't need to be around.
Of course, they have reached this position without him being around.
No, he can even contribute his own quota using telephones. Because where is, are you saying he's not going to be having access to telephone?
If you are under detention, the people that will visit you is even restricted. Even the food you will eat has to be exposed to so many things. There are people you cannot be allowed to communicate with. They wouldn't have been complaining if they can have him, let him have access to all those people like Amechi, people like former Sokoto governor. If all these people can access him easily and talk to him,
so you cannot access them through the mobile phone.
How can you be detained and be allowed to hold your phone?
You know, he's a big man now, so they might give him house arrest kind of senior, preferential kind of detention. Not the detention that will be given to a poor man where you don't have access to telephone. Some of these big men, sometimes may also have access to telephones. You never can tell.
Whatever. But Nasir El-Rufai is not the alpha and omega in ADC, but his presence will have helped matters a great deal. You understand? But the fact that he's not with them doesn't mean. I respect people like David Mark. Atiku is an institution, political institution in himself. Konkoso is a very, very strong crowd puller, grassroots politician. Obi is youth-driven politician. You understand? Nigeria, greater majority of Nigerian population are the youth, and locally Obi has them. Do you understand? So when you put all these things together, you can see that they have huge opportunity.
So some might say, okay, we have
success.
Because the article 8 million, the V6 million, and the Conquest 2 million.
Exactly.
We put it together is how many million?
6 plus 2 plus 1.
16 million.
16 million.
As against Tinubu that had 8 million.
Exactly.
Too.
Exactly. And then again, all this deceiver, you cannot attain to position of leadership, let's truth be told, without having northern vote.
Could I explain? Is that the reason why?
Exactly.
Does that explain why the incumbent seems to be shaking?
Exactly. Exactly. Because he knows.
Are you saying that the North have made up their mind not to support the incumbent government?
Clearly, obviously. Forget about the governors. The governors in North do not now. No, they no longer control northern vote. I'm telling you.
Are you talking about a president who has about 32 governors?
The governors themselves do not. Should I speak to you in Igbo Hausa? The governors no longer control votes in northern states like before.
Why?
Because the local northern voter understand that governance is no longer about him. Governance is about selfishness. They realize that the governors are not doing anything to help them. You understand? And particularly with this administration, they are angry, A-N-G-R-Y. All those local northerners who contribute the largest amount of Nigeria's vote.
How can you be angry with the president that has, floated a very good agenda like the Renewed Hope agenda?
Renewed Hope where? In Lagos or where? In the other part of Nigeria, we are not seeing any hope. I'm telling you, we are grappling with no light. We are grappling with high prices of petroleum product in a country that is oil-producing country. In a country whose cities have been exposed to various types of long taxes. In a country that every Nigerian is owing 762,000 naira. In a country that you cannot go to the market and buy foodstuff that can sustain you for a week. How can you be happy? Which hope is that?
It's a renewed hope.
Don't insult me here, please. You have a way of making me angry.
No, it's not a way of making me angry. I'm trying to.
So somebody said, bottom line is that
the president has just recently demanded for $516 million to construct Badagry to Sokoto Road. How
many of these local voters in northern Nigeria can benefit from that road from Badagry to Sokoto? How many?
Some are saying that is not visible, that other roads are not being completed.
That is aside. So let me not forget my point. The majority of the voters that are going to cast this vote can never vote for the incumbent administration. I'm telling you, by virtue of my position as a northerner, by virtue of my position as a local person that always visits the villages and the villages around my village, as a person that lives in one of the most cosmopolitan towns in northern Nigeria, I hear, and by virtue of myself as a journalist, I hear what people say, I listen to them and analyze their statements. So I see their body languages. I see their line of exactly. And I keep saying, it's not that Nigerians are angry with APC. In fact, they love APC so much because of Muhammadu Buhari, and they transferred the love they had for Muhammadu Buhari to this present administration.
So what unchanged?
Because the administration disappointed them. None of these policies is in accord with the ideology and thinking of their late leader, Muhammadu Buhari. In fact, they felt being marginalized because they see things happening, they see everything going to the southwest. And they are not stupid and they are not blind. Despite huge taxation, despite enormous and crazy loans that we have been taking from international bodies, despite high price of petrol resources, people are suffering, you keep taxing them. Taxing to the extent that now, even solar electricity, you are unable to provide power by the government. And people make their initiative, use their money to put solars in their house, and you are even saying that you begin to tax people in Lagos for now. And we know that the Lagos is almost a litmus paper in this administration. Lagos is a litmus paper. You know litmus paper?
Yes.
It's a small paper that chemists use to test the behavior of chemicals. We have a red and blue litmus paper. When you dip them, they change color. So Lagos is a litmus test. So tell me how people will love to see this administration come to power. The opposition understand that very well. That is why they have to be united. And then the importance of them having unity is to prevent vote splitting. That's why APC, that is in the first place why APC won in 2023. So unity is essential. That is the only, this is the key thing that ADC could not afford to lose. Unity. Let them agree. Let them agree. But we are seeing a situation whereby the Supreme Court has reserved judgment for the ADC. And while the Supreme Court is busy doing their own part, the ADC seems to be focused. The international community is also looking at the INEC and even the courts. They are looking at the agitations and the protests and the complaints made by Nigerians that the electoral form in itself is a magma. So where were the international community when the last election took place and the rulings of the courts took place too? Where some places were tagged as a state, like Abuja. Where were they, you know? It will no longer be business as usual. The global temperature is very unlike what it used to be obtained during that election. Now the international body as a whole, are you saying that they are more interested now? Exactly. Exactly, because there is geopolitics going on around the world, and they are trying to consolidate their interests and powers across Africa now. So their interest before is different from their interest today. Do you understand? So it's no longer business as usual. That is why both parties will be doing things so that they will impress the international organization and international bodies. One of the statements the ADC made on Saturday when they had that coalition meeting was the position on the INEC chairman that he must go. That the INEC chairman must go. And I reiterated, the INEC chairman must go. And a lot of Nigerians are speaking the same language. The INEC chairman must go. Because that INEC chairman cannot be trusted to conduct election. Why do you think he cannot be trusted? A man that was appointed by the president and subjected to some tests by the Council of States. Why do you think so? A son. When he was subjected by the Council of State to all these things you are now saying, all this his temperament and his qualities and his behavior did not come to the fore until he found himself on the seat. His bipartisan nature did not come to the fore until now. People investigated his previous online and social media interaction and they proved it to him. He denied it, but deniers cannot be basis for it to be true. Do you understand? And they also saw so many things that are not working well for him. So many interferences. So that suggests that he's a party man. He's a party man. So we cannot trust such a person to roll an election that will usher in the next. The most worrisome one is the collection of the gratification by the national. All these are part of it. There are so many reasons. Commissioners. There are so many reasons. Has anyone come to deny? No. No. And the fact that he shows interest in Ondo State gubernatorial something that is happening, he deliberately removed the rec in Ondo State and even the entire IT department. That is also another pointer that is bipartisan, definitely bipartisan. He knew that their candidate because I say their candidate because all Nigerians believe that he's partisan, and I'm also saying he's partisan. Going by the record, what we saw in the media and his inability to come and accurately defend himself as a professor, he should have come and even organized press briefing, not only national, international press briefing to come and at least make statement to the effect that all these allegations against you are not true because of reason A, B, C, D, E, which up to today he did not do. So Nigerians know about all these things. So I don't even have any concern. I just want the opposition parties, whether it is the ADC or any other political party, to keep doing their things, because whatever decision if it is this INEC run by this particular person, whatever decision he came out with, Nigeria will never. Now look, the pressure is high now. And once Nigeria did not agree, the international community will also not agree with that election. It has happened in other countries. It has happened in other countries. Once the citizens say this is not our vote, and you know there are different ways Nigerians say this is not our vote, and international community must side with the voice of the many. Okay, Mr. Shaibu, that's a lot on this ADC and PDP coalition. Now I can imagine what is going on in the minds of Wike now. What do you think? Because Wike is known to be one person who is also a PDP member but functioning in an APC government.
What do you think will be going on in his mind now, Mr. Project himself?
So Mr. Project himself, for me, as of now, he's neither there nor there.
Well,
exactly. Because that is, in my own religion, as a Muslim, people with this kind of behavior, they always end up like this. You'll be neither here nor there. You are there because of certain interests. That interest has been achieved. You have been used. And they will not allow him to enter the party because there are so many people that will not allow Wike to become a bona fide party member at the APC. They look at him now in Nigerian political system as a fleck. Nobody wants to have him. So that's why I don't even know what happens to Wike.
So what are you expecting to see 2027? What are you seeing? A very formidable election, strong election that will really, spring up a lot of challenges and surprises.
Yes, because even the ADC has some its weakness. I think I jotted 2 or 3, which I want to see them work on. Not only me, Nigeria want to see them work over. Like now, internal division is the main problem. Actually, not the APC. The APC is not the problem because I can see them running over APC easily. So it is their own problem that I want them to work on. Particularly, we can still see that they are fragmented in crisis, and then we can see conflicting ambitions among the top politicians, each wanting to become a president. Each of them wants it. I think in that regard, I can even say the less of them is Konkoso. Konkoso can do well with vice presidential ticket. But you see, Atiku and Obi, each one of them insisted he wants to be there. And each one of them is critically important. When I say I want to see unity, this is what I'm referring to between the two of them.
But that itself can be politics, a political game and calculation.
We don't know, but we are just discussing what we are clearly seeing in our eyes. If it is politics, they might have already agreed on something and they are just playing us Nigerians. I can understand it as politics. Do you understand? But if it is not, I think this is the point that I was referring to as the unity. Let them unite together. Like I say, I don't want to base it on age, but I would rather see Atiku stepping down for Obi Konkoso.
Okay.
This is my wish, and this is the wish of so many Nigerians. Do you understand? But if Atiku refused to go, do you understand? To let go of the ticket, I want to Obi also to say, okay, I will consider you because you have always been my boss, you have always been my senior brother. I will agree on one condition. Do you understand? I will be your vice, but then, Atiku, when Atiku agrees, this guy, Obi will just do 1 term of 4 years, plus the incumbent 4 years, making 8 years. Then Atiku, if he still wishes to go, by that time, I think he will be about 42 or 84 or something like that. He will come 83, then do 1 term and then leave it to a younger person, maybe Konkoso or Nasiru. Do you understand? I think this is more saner. But then what I said is, if he insists that he wants to, rather than breaking the party as to give APC the lead, I would want to see a situation whereby Obi will say, okay, I agree with you, I will go. But okay. I will be your vice president. Then after your 8 years, I will be there. Even after 8 years, Obi will still be relatively strong enough to also rule. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, let's see. Now, before we wrap it up on this issue, what is the success rate of this? What are the chances of the current ADC looking at the forces they have, able to put up together now? 1 to 10. What do you think?
Yes, I make a probability snapshot earlier this morning when you told me you are going to discuss this.
Okay.
When they adopt what I call fragmented opposition whereby all the key party members are there, but because they could not agree on who will come out as presidential candidate, and then maybe they decided to allow APC to take advantage of this, their fragmentation. I'll see a situation whereby Tinubu will win comfortably with 70%. But if the ADC decide to take full coalition system, which is through toss-up, I see 50-50 chance with the coalition having greater tendency of winning over the APC.
So I argue with you that even the APC does not have any strong political big weakness.
Even the
APC does not have any strong political
it has so many things to its advantage. it has the entire Southwest already locked. And for you to win Nigeria, you have to have northern base. You have to have one of other regions, maybe southeast or south. After you have the entire north.
Are you saying that the APC has the entire Southwest locked?
Southwest?
Yes.
APC has the Southwest locked.
No, when we have the market there.
I'm telling you, Tinubu has about 85% of the Southwest vote locked. I'm telling you this. See, this is the reality. This is the reality. All the ADC is looking for is just a small patch here and there in the Southwest, and then get either the Southeast or the South solidly behind it. Then the game is over. That's why I gave them 50% chance, with them having higher chances, higher edge than the ruling party. That is if they adopt the full coalition tactics. That full coalition means they all agree and they allow Obi Konkoso to fly the ticket, or Atiku Obi to fly the ticket.
All right, Mr. Shaimo, that was just, well, I think we have to wrap it up here, and so we can attend to other issues and topic. Thank you very much for doing justice to that topic.
Thank you for having
me. We just hope and wish them well, and pray for a very wonderful hitch-free 2027 elections, because it's politics time and everywhere is heightened. It's heightened. Calculations, permutations,
and that is why they are not even taking care of immediate needs, because politics always
nobody's paying attention to medical lines,
exactly,
education,
exactly.
Everybody's just waiting to grab one thing: power. Okay, that will be all for now for the topic of today. For the first topic of today, I beg your pardon. We're going on a short break, and when we return, we dive straight to other topics. This is P&B Money Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this time out. All right, welcome back. This is P&B Money Show here in the city of Abuja. My name is Chidi Kenneth, and I still have with me my co-host and presenter, Mr. Shaibu Ibrahim. Mr. Shaibu.
Yeah.
Welcome back on the short break, and we are going to dive to the next topic, and we do hope to have a guest joining us, via Zoom. Now, it's been 3 years and some months now, the president, at the day of inauguration, made a very strong policy statement. Subsidy is gone.
Which happened to be his very first statement.
Even before sitting down in the office.
Exactly.
Now, 3.5 years, and
even before reading through his speech. And
just like a joke, the impact of the subsidy removal, we have not recovered from it up to today.
Exactly.
It's been, the first time the fuel rose to to 500 and something naira, I got angry and I packed my vehicle. I said, "What's this?" I never knew that it was just.
Did you know that it was coming to be 1,000 plus?
In my mind, I said, "How can I buy fuel 500, 600 naira a liter? It's absurd."
You are not buying it at 1,004.
Now we are buying it at 1,004, 1,003. Mr. Shaibu, but then again, something happened recently. A prominent ruler in this country,
traditional ruler
by name Sanusi.
His Royal Highness Sanusi Lamido Sanusi.
Yes, the Emir of Kano, former CBN governor.
Exactly. Who is an economist to the core.
Came out and said, "Why is this government borrowing despite the removal of subsidy? Why?" The subsidy was meant to cushion the effect that will come up after the removal of subsidy. But after the removal of subsidy, we are still borrowing. Why are they borrowing, Mr. Shaibu? What do you make of that?
I don't know why we are borrowing, because you keep asking me these questions in so many programs. I said I can't understand why we are borrowing. And then, lucky enough for me, one of the most trusted names in Nigeria's economic terrain, who was the CBN governor, a technocrat, a traditional ruler in the person of his Royal Highness Alhaji Lamido Sanusi Lamido, also made the same statement. When I was saying this thing, I wasn't a professional. I'm just somebody that look at the situation and then studies the situation critically around me. Sanusi warned that poor sequencing and weak fiscal discipline undermines the intended purpose of the subsidy removal in the first place. What that means is that the subsidy have been removed. He even supported the idea. He even supported the reform that brought about the subsidy removal. But he was saying that he was expected to see a very well sequential fiscal discipline put in place by the administration. But very unfortunately, the subsidy has been removed, and there was no sound economic policies to guide that first subsidy removal reform. So I think he has reason.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu, excuse me, it's like we have Mr. Yeshao live. Do we have him live? All right, can we just have him, please? Please, I think just joining us now is Mr. Yeshao live. I think we have him there on Zoom. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Yeshao. It's nice to have you here on the PNB Morning Show.
I think you are quite in the frame, but I think the frame is now in the form of landscape portrait. Can you please make it portrait? It's lying ahead.
Yes, good. Yes, no, keep turn it a bit. Thank you. No, not that way.
No, you're still.
Yes.
Okay. That's great.
That's great now.
Thank you, Mr. Yeshao.
Yes, good morning once again, Mr. Yes, good morning once again, Mr. Yeshao.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
And welcome to PNB Morning Show this morning.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you are aware of what we're talking about. The statement from Sanusi Lamido that despite the borrowings, despite the removal of subsidy, why is this government still borrowing?
Yes. It's a surprise to me for a professional to make that statement, and also to look as if all of us are not within the same economy. I supported the removal of subsidy, and I'm still on it. What I'm expecting is that if you have formed an opinion with regard to any economic policy, you sustain it, because when you are holding that view, you are holding it with a professional view. There must be borrowing, because if not for borrowing, why do we have membership with IMF? Why do we have membership with World Bank? These are the basics that shows that in our inefficiency, in our fiscal inefficiency, because we cannot raise the revenue required, and because we cannot set goals to limit the borrowing, once you put an appropriation that is ambitious above what you have on ground, then definitely you must borrow, either domestic or external. That is basic. What you do with the borrowing too is what is more important. And in all these things, there are parameters set. What you look at your revenue, you look at the percentage of your debt. That is debt to revenue ratio. You look all these things, and when you arrive at a convenient figure, there is nothing stop you from borrowing. But what you do with the borrowing is another angle. Now let us come back to subsidy.
Okay, that's the area I want you to talk about now.
Excellent. Now we are all present when, because of subsidy regime, a figure of our consumption runs into millions, just because some people with corrupt tendencies from the executive, from the legislators, from the marketers are taking advantage of that. These are the reasons, the core reasons why, if you see these indices on ground, you cannot support subsidy. That is one. Second, because of subsidy, the nation cannot maintain refineries. The nation cannot maintain our refineries. No?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah. So what I am trying to say here is we have 4 refineries, but because of subsidy regime, none of the refinery can work. And we are spending so much. How can you not support the removal of subsidy if that will bring a working refinery into the economy?
Mr. Shaw, please. It seems we have. Okay, go ahead. Your phone seems to be,
Somebody is calling him. Let him continue.
some interceptions, please.
There's an alarm that is disturbing me.
Yeah, maybe you can remove it.
Is it okay now?
No, it's still disturbing.
Yeah. So, because of subsidy, no single refinery can work. And unless this subsidy is removed, that is when private sector can come. And even now, with our refinery on ground, the World Bank is now trying to say that we have to understand that we are operating in competition. We should allow import. Because once we continue to import, some are taking advantage of our exchange rate and are manipulating it. So going back slightly to renowned economist, former CBN governor, it's not right time for him at all to ask about too much borrowing. Because what I am expecting is to caution government from large spendings. The budget 2026, 64 trillion. 64 trillion is a large, budget appropriation. Why must you go to an extent of enlarging our budget once we know that the revenue generation cannot cope with what we are trying to expend?
Okay, Mr. Shaw, before we proceed, I would just like to cut through here and ask you one question. Sanusi Lamido was the former governor of CBN. In order, by that reason, he understands the econometrics and the happenings within the the system. Now, are you saying that he's questioning this borrowing is not necessary? Because he's saying that the removal of subsidies should have cushioned the effect of certain things, and wouldn't have, there was no need for the government making this, repeated borrowings. What's your take on that?
Let me tell you, removal of subsidy is not what gives us this pressure. Let me tell you perfectly from my own opinion and understanding. All the gains of revenue is being shared by the leaders of government. All the benefit of removal of subsidy is being shared by tiers of government. That is why we got it wrong in the first place. The second aspect is a floating exchange rate that we have introduced. I am expecting economists to speak about floating exchange rate because Sanusi Lamido Sanusi is one of the proponents of devaluation of currency which I am not. Like I told you, why must you devalue our currency? Why we are having a positive export? While we know that we depend solely, we have not prepared for it. Why can't we allow market in the first instance to determine the exchange rate? The Central Bank of Nigeria, also where he works, is one of the institutions that compounded the problems of what we are facing today in terms of ways and means. They have for a long time facilitated artificial expenditure by printing money just like that and pumping into the economy.
But that can be challenged as well. That statement you are making can also be challenged. Can also be, yes, it can be seen as your own opinion as well.
Of course, it is an opinion. I have no problem with that. But I have my understanding of how things work.
Madam Shao, going by what you have just said, it seems as if what you are implying is that weak fiscal discipline and undermines the intended purpose of the subsidy removal and exchange rate liberalization. So, what do you wish the government should or could have been done in the first place to protect Nigerians from the situation that we are finding ourselves in currently?
The situation started in July 2022 when former President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Petroleum Industry Act that brought an end to the subsidy regime. This has to be clear. But when Buhari brought PIB. Yes. Buhari forgot the fact that he has promised that our moribund refineries will be working.
Exactly.
And at the time he signed the PIB, none of the refinery was working. That was when you need to sit down and look at the possible options that can stabilize the exchange rate, that can bring refinery, and at the same time also implement the PIB. And at the same time also, you know that you don't have the capacity to produce, and then you introduce the floating exchange rate, and you must import. And in importing, you must embark upon using currencies which does not belong to you. And that is why we got it wrong. So we are in a good mess, but we can still rework the issue of subsidy removal to a petroleum production efficiency with a simple model. That simple model is that now we are producing crude oil. Now we have a working refinery that can not only feed Nigeria, but is feeding the world. So it's just an arrangement. How does single individual investor make his refinery one of the best in the world, and federal government under NNPCL cannot make one of its refinery to be functional?
Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Shaw, let me because of want of time. Okay, I just want to ask one more question to you. Then we are wrapping it up not very soon. But let me also ask this question quickly. Are you saying that the current administration is in order in respect to the borrowing?
No, it's not in order in terms of what general efficiency in the oil sector is concerned. And that's why I'm telling you that since we have an arrangement of a system where we are producing crude oil and we have the working refinery, then let us have a direct link with the company, with our product, to produce product and sell at the right prices, so that we can boost the the local production. We can boost local efficiency. Why must you allow a refinery in Nigeria to be importing crude oil that is produced in Nigeria, sell outside shores of Nigeria, and then put it back in dollar, and then come and produce and sell us in dollar? Why we are having the capacity to make our production easier, simpler, and very cheaper.
Okay, Mr. Shao. So
one question.
My co-host here, my colleague.
Mr. Shao, can you please take one last question?
No problem.
It seems as our long-standing reliance on foreign refining appears to be one of our structural weaknesses, especially when we have local refining capacity remains underutilized. Do you think there's a possibility of us seeing the proliferation of other private refineries taking place in Nigeria? Do you see the possibility of us having more private refineries being established in Nigeria?
You see, if we have 1 million refineries in Nigeria, we will have 1 million working within and outside Nigeria. That is not the problem. But the point of concern in economists, there was a time I argued with my professor in the university that monopoly is desirable. We don't need 1 million refinery. Aramco is single refinery and is satisfying Saudi Arabia. Dangote refinery is having 650,000 barrels per day and is increasing to above 1 million barrels per day in 2 years. Let us work with the efficiency we have on ground, and then look and then make provision for alternative efficiency. That is when you allow market to liberalize, and at the same time also to make people benefit as citizens of a nation. And that is why I have problem with the administrator. Look at the quagmire that has been going on until the former MD of NNPC was removed.
Definitely.
They never wanted this refinery to work. And any politicians who doesn't want the arrangement of taking our crude, processing our crude, and then selling in Naira town, producing in Naira town, this will solve our problem. How many millions of liters does Nigeria consume today? The refinery having excess of that capacity. So we have an immediate solution to our issues. What we are talking is medium term, medium.
All right, Mr. Shao, so sorry, we are losing you there, and unfortunately, coincidentally, we are also running out of time. Thank you very much. We'll find out time again to engage you on economic matters like this. But for now, we'll just have to leave. That was Mr. Yushao, an in-house economics and analyst that has done so well this morning to throw more light on the statements made by His Eminence, Emir Sanusi Lamido, the former governor of CBN and currently the Emir of Kano. Mr. Ibrahim, a quick one, a parting word for us before we go.
So, as relates, I'm more interested in our first topic for today, which has to do with the coalition putting their house in order, because unless this current administration has improved things, has turned things around for the betterment of Nigerians, a greater majority of Nigerians want to see change. Just like we wanted to see change in 2023, and that willingness and desire of Nigerians to see change brought in the APC into power, Nigerians are once again forced into the need to see change again. So unless the present administration does the right thing, Nigerians are crying for peace, crying for change once again.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Nigerians are crying for change unless the current administration does something urgently because they have limited time before the elections.
Exactly.
That will be all, and that is where we're going to wrap it up on the PNB Morning Show. Do find time to join us on our social media handles there, just on the screen. Okay. Then follow us and like on Politics and Business and BusinessTV.English on Nycosan 008 on, that's the channel to tune when you get to, if you're using the Nycosan. Thank you so much once again. My name is Chidi Kenneth, and on behalf of PNB Morning Show this morning, we do have a wonderful day ahead. See you tomorrow, same time. God bless you.